Aloha and mahalo for joining me. I'm Janin and welcome to the Call to Create podcast. I hope you're having a great day and a great holiday season. And if you're listening to this and it's not the holidays, I still hope you're having a great day. And I know you will get great value out of listening to this episode and what I'm going to talk about, because today's episode is my holiday wish. And my holiday wish for you is goodness. I want goodness for you all year long, not just during this holiday season. And I want to start off by saying, we all want goodness. We all want to have goodness within us, and we all want to have people around us to have goodness. And that's just been my experience. So I hope this is true for you, that you want to have goodness. And the definition in the dictionary of goodness is the quality or state of being good. And I know that when we are born on this earth and we come to our families, that we're innocent and we have goodness in us. And then, when you turn 8, things start changing. There is actually an actual change in your brain when you're 8 years old and things like that. And then that's when you become a little bit different. You become accountable for your actions at that point, because prior to 8 years old, you're still really innocent. And, that's when you're good and you want to be good. And when you're that age and you're a little kid, you just want to do good and be good because you want to please your parents and make them happy. But then as you get older, it becomes really difficult, I think. I know actually it becomes a lot more difficult to constantly have that goodness, where it's like, you're trying different things and you hear people say bad words and you're saying bad words, or you see someone hit somebody and then you try and do that. And we learn by doing and we mimic. That's just how it is growing up, is that we mimic people. But I know that we still have a deep down goodness within us, even though we may be trying these things as we grow up. But what happens when you become an adult and when you have habits and things about you where you don't always feel like you have goodness? Well, I'm here to tell you that you have goodness. It's just that we take on bad habits because, we are weak and we have weaknesses. And that is part of our earthly journey. We have to have weaknesses and struggles. And that's how we become better, is when we have weaknesses and we are able to learn and grow from it. And that's how we get to know ourselves really well. And God has a plan for us. And part of the plan is for us to have struggles here on earth so that we can learn and grow and turn to Him for help. And God has given us this basic goodness within us. It's in our spirits. So if you ever think that you don't have any goodness, I'm here to tell you that's not true. We all have goodness in us. So remember that when you're struggling, because that goodness is in us. We just create bad habits and sometimes bad attitudes. But it is possible to change and let it go. And we can do that by recognizing, all the things that are happening that you may not like, and turn to God for help. But, during this holiday season, I think the goodness comes out even more. We want to do good. We want to serve people during the holidays, and we want to give gifts. And that's when the goodness seems to really come out a lot more than any other time of the year, from what I've noticed. But just remember that if you're struggling to feel or to know that you have goodness or that you're good, just remember that you are. Because haven't you ever said to someone, or someone has said to you, "Oh, I'm a good person," or "She's a good person"? Because we all want to be good. and we are going to fall and we're going to struggle, but it's okay. You just pick yourself back up and you just keep moving forward. And remember, you're like a jewel, like a diamond. Hey, let's use the diamond as an example. You have many facets to you. And one of these facets that make you even more beautiful is goodness. And you have goodness within you. Isn't it interesting that I'm using jewels as an example of us as human beings? I mean, what better thing to use as an example? But I think it's really cool. I mean, I like jewels. Hey, I'm honest. But I would recommend that you have a good conversation with your friend, your best friend, or whoever you want, and have a conversation about goodness. Because I know as women, it's easy to be hard on yourself, hard on ourselves, and it's just hard sometimes to recognize the goodness that's within us. But it is time to recognize the goodness that you have in you and the goodness that you are. And it's a quality. Being good is a quality, and we all want to have quality. It's one of those qualities that just makes you feel good, especially when you do good to help people and serve people. That I always recommend service. Like in my previous episodes, I talk about serve your neighbor. Go find out if somebody needs help or they just need you to check up on them or bring them a plate of cookies. But do something good with your goodness. Serve people and use your goodness to do good. And remember, you have worth and value, and share all the goodness that you have deep down in your soul. And happy holidays. Thank you so much for being here. And please share this podcast with anyone who you know would get great value out of listening to it, especially if you know that they're thinking about starting their own business. Or even if they're not, there's still great value that I share in each episode that can bring value to women, even if they aren't interested in starting their own business. And please rate and review this podcast. I would appreciate it. And thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. Aloha.